Yeah. Get the ball.
The long ball into the box. Pick is there. Can he put it in? Goal, South Florida! It's a shot. South Florida goal! Shot for Brian. It's in the goal! Crossing the box. Thiago scores on a header! About 25 yards out. Unbelievable! Hello everyone and welcome to the 2023-2024 season for South Florida Football Academy. This is Mad About Soccer here bringing you one of the first games of the season, South Florida Football Academy versus Kendall Rush here in Kendall, Florida, and with me, as always, is Jeffrey Smythe. Say hello, Jeffrey.
Well, hello everybody out there, and welcome again to another fantastic season that we're going to have here at SFFA, and we can't wait to bring you all the highlights of today's game and all the action. Back to you.
All right, well, as the boys start warming up, we're going to be introducing you to some new players as well as some new coaching staff here for South Florida. Coach Greg leaving us earlier this season. Today the boys will be led by Director Eric Eichmann of USA Soccer fame. And the lineup today is going to consist of Brian up front along with Joaquin, one of our new players this season. Julian, Gavin out on the right and the left side with Matthew and Nick taking up the rest of those center midfield spots. And then out on the left back is going to be Brandon, followed by Jonathan, a Sunshine player moving up to the MLS. Edon in center back, and Jaden, a new player to the team, coming in starting out at right back. And then we have Colton, who's come up from our pre-academy as well, as be the starting keeper today. Now that we've gone over the starting lineup, let's take a look at some of the new faces to the club. With Jaden, number 9, starting at right back today. Jaden can also play at left back, and he has a lot of exciting moves and skill with those feet of his, as well as some speed to go along with his astounding height, clocking in as one of the tallest players on the club. Johnny L, number 33, is going to be on the bench today, but is a very skilled player, having journeyed throughout South Florida to many teams, and is going to bring his talents here to South Florida Football Academy. Joaquin, number 39, going to be our starting striker. Joaquin from Orlando area. He's got a lot of skill, some excellent shooting ability, and we're really excited to see him play up at the top of the field. We'll see what he can do today. Hopefully he can get a goal. Colton, number 99, our keeper. He started off at Sunshine level a couple of years ago, went down to the pre-academy, but now is back as the MLS Next starting goalkeeper. And I got to tell you, he's a shot stopper and definitely has a good head on his shoulders. Going to be commanding our back lines here, as well as with the Don. Also want to mention that these photos are provided by M_J_Beard, MJ Beard on Instagram. Please look him up. He's got some amazing shots here, not only of soccer-related photos, but also of wildlife. So if photography is your thing and you want to take a look at some amazing photos, head on over to M_J_Beard at Instagram, and you won't be disappointed. And thank you to him for these amazing shots. The kids all enjoy them, as well as the parents. And again, much appreciated. Well, now that we've given you some insight on our newer players, we'll look to today's game. Kendall Rush was one of the top teams in MLS Next last year, at least in the Florida region. And they seem to have a larger squad than ever today. Let's hope that the boys can put up a fight against them, as they seem to be considerably undermanaged here in the height department. But with that being said, they have some great leadership here in Director Eichmann, as well as Coach Jordan, who is the NAL team coach, who's come out here to show his support and be here with the team to lead them, hopefully, to a victory. And it looks like the referees are getting ready to start. The weather here is not yet to rain. It is significantly overcast, as you can see the many clouds in the background. But a beautiful black backdrop nonetheless, with all of these beautiful palm trees native to South Florida. As we wait for the kickoff here, Joaquin started off, passing back to Matthew, who's occupying that center defensive mid spot. New position for him this year, as he had started mainly in the back of the field. South Florida gives the ball away in the middle of the field. We have a little bit of a spectator interruption here, cutting into our screen as Colton clears this one out of the box and out for our first touch of the game. Kendall looking for a player to throw it into, and they manage to keep it in. Still rolling this ball on the right side. This time Brian puts it out for another throw. Brian sort of playing a false nine position, which is also new for him this year. As Brandon clears this one up to Brian, gets it off to Julian, but we're going to have the first foul of the game as well.
Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking here, Kendall. It's too much congestion here, and Brandon just commits a little bit of a foul by grabbing hold of the Kendall player. It's going to happen, folks. There's nothing more I can say.
Well, Kendall lining up their first free kick. It's in a good spot here, basically a corner, and right at the keeper, and Colton handles it confidently and urges his team out of the box. Gives a long throw to Brian. Kendall there to take it. Jaden now on it. Jaden double teamed. Gets it back to Jonathan. Jonathan with a nice little cut back there. Passes it back to Colton. And Colton looking up the field finds Brandon. Brandon to Julian. Julian with a nice little back heel. Can Brandon get there? He does. And collision in the midfield. No foul called. And Kendall's going to take possession of this ball, but only for a short time till Joaquin pokes it free over to Nick. Nick over to Gavin this time. Gavin now putting the ball up the field in a dangerous spot to Jaden. Jaden with those long legs able to get there, crosses to the box, and it's going to be deflected and kicked forward by Kendall. Kendall's big striker now on the ball. Matthew and Jonathan in the back defending well. Oh, they got a free player here in the box. Shot! And it's well wide of the goal. Oh, man. Flirting with disaster there, as Kendall was in, but their shot selection a little off, and they sent that ball wide as Colton plays short to Jonathan. Jonathan to Matthew. Matthew back to Colton. Colton looking around. Finds Brandon open again on the left side. Brandon into Nick. Nick with a little bit of room, but not much. Tries to play the ball down the line to Julian, and eventually does, but it goes out of bounds according to the linesman. So South Florida finally able to get the ball out of the backfield, but only for a short time, as Julian's working this ball, and so is Brian. Look at the effort here from Brian, getting triple teamed, still fighting through. Can he come away with it? And he wins the throw. Wow.
Oh, you've got to admire the fight in this lad. Look at him go. He's about half the size of that 17, and look at him. He doesn't stop fighting. He's just giving it all he's got right there on the side of the field. And Brandon comes to help him out, and they're trying to win it, and they just managed to get a throw in. This was some great fortitude by South Florida early in the game. I like to see it.
Well, I know you do, Jeffrey, and that's one thing that this South Florida team definitely has, is it's got some fight in it. And Joaquin now applying some pressure to the number 4. Julian, there's a clear push, no foul called. Julian manages to win it. And it doesn't get far, though, as Kendall now playing the ball back and maintaining possession. I don't know how a foul wasn't called there. That looked clear to me. We're going to have to take another look at this in the stoppage of play. Jaden working down the line here, and he's going to kick it out for another throw.
Well, let's take another look at this. This is clearly a foul. I don't know how the referee didn't call this one. It's clearly a full extension of his arm, and he just throws Julian to the ground. But you can't keep the man out of the fight. He kicks it back into the play, and they tried to make something happen there. But the referee's got to have his eyes open.
All right, well, Kendall here on the throw in South Florida territory. They got a nice little dribble here in the box. Matthew kicks it. Brandon clears it away. Kendall able to maintain possession here at the top of the field. And playing back just to maintain possession. Like I said, you can definitely see here, folks, every single Kendall player is at least a head taller than our South Florida players. I haven't quite seen anything like it. I guess at the age of 14, you see some record sprouts here in the South Florida area of Kendall. 17 dribbling this one across. Can't find a gap. Now number 3 on the ball. He's working that left side. Gavin not making it easy for him, and he manages to kick it loose for a throw. Another throw from Kendall. This one, a long one into the box, chested by the striker. He able to get it around it. Oh, what a save by Colton as that Kendall striker puts a nice strike on the ball.
Well, we're lucky not to be pulling this one out of the back of the net as Colton makes a great save here. Look at the velocity on this ball. That one is moving. And Colton just nice dive to put that ball clear to the side. Excellent keeping.
Well, now we have our first corner of the match also going to Kendall. As here it comes. It's high. They managed to get ahead to it, I think. Maintaining possession at the top of the box. South Florida able to clear. Joaquin now on the ball. Gets a touch to it. Can't continue his run. And Kendall again maintains possession. So far, all possession leaning towards Kendall as they are definitely using their size here. Matthew comes away with an interception. Back to Brian. Brian to Matthew. Matthew now trying to find space on the right side. Kicking the ball up the field. There's no South Florida player there. And Kendall playing back to their keeper. Joaquin applying pressure. Oh, wow. He almost got away with one there. As Kendall clears it over to the left side. Kendall again. Being patient on the ball. South Florida with a high press. Oh, that one right into the chest of Gavin, and it's going to be another Kendall throw. Kendall again with a long ball down the field. Jaden there. 17, and we're going to have another foul. Let's see where this goes.
Well, this is going to be a free kick for South Florida, and it's right here. You see this tall number 17. He hooks Brian right there, and he's going to get called for the foul 9 times out of 10. I'm surprised the referee called that one when the one on Julian was much clearer than that.
Jonathan to take the free kick. Jonathan coming up from our Sunshine Division. Last year he played in MLS, now full-time MLS. Sends this ball long to the top of the box. Kendall player there to head it forward. 17 playing the ball long, trying to hit that big striker of theirs. He plays it back. Back into the box. South Florida hustling to get back. Oh, this is some nice play into the box. Colton coming out, and Colton able to dive on this ball. Another good job by Colton to read the play and come out and smother that ball before it could be in a danger area. As Kendall was threatening the goal once again. Brandon back to Idan. Idan first touches on the ball today. Playing it over to Jonathan and another whistle.
Well, I want to take a look at a couple things here while we have a moment and take a look at Colton and how he reads this play as the keeper. He sees the player cutting in and the ball played into him, and he knows he only has seconds to get there, and he manages to get on it quickly and smother that play from ever turning into a shot. And now you see this, the Kendall team, they want to use their size, they want to try to bully the South Florida players off the ball, and you know what's going to result in that? A lot is fouls. So another foul, and Idan's going to take this free kick.
And Idan plays it short over to Brandon. Brandon immediately pressured. Kendall playing just as high as South Florida when it's in their territory. Brian, hits the referee, and we're going to get a drop ball here. As you all know, that when the referee makes contact with a pass, it immediately results in possession being turned back over to that team. Idan plays this ball long to an open Jaden. Jaden trying to control that, can't do it. And Kendall now trying to usher this ball out, and they manage to do it. And it's going to be a Kendall goal kick. Kendall takes it short. Brian and Joaquin high up the field. Brian now applying the pressure to the ball. Working the right side. Brandon with 2 players. He's looking for help. Matthew was coming over. Pass in. Edon there. Another ball into the box. And Colton with the kick save. It's still in? No? It's going to be an offsides, I believe.
That's right, it's going to be offsides. But look at this. Again, Colton, the kick save there, preventing that ball from getting into another spot. He is having a remarkable game so far. And let's hope that he can keep it up, because it definitely looks like this could be a long day for the keeper.
Well, Edon ready to take this free kick. Plays it up the middle of the field. Nick is there. Takes a bounce, luckily. Nick playing it through the middle. Joaquin sprinting on this ball, and the keeper from Kendall comes out and boots it long. Jaden is there. He's going to play it back to John. John again playing it back to the keeper. I have to say, South Florida looks very calm playing this ball back in their own half under a lot of pressure from this Kendall team as they play out again. Oh, nice little nutmeg pass there from Jaden to Brian. Brian to Matthew. Matthew to Nick. Some one-touch passing going a long way here. Nick trying to beat the player one-on-one, able to get it over to Brandon. Brandon now with a little bit of space and time. Trying to make a move around that Kendall player, and it can't do it, and it's going to be a Kendall throw. Long throw. Brandon there to intercept. Pops it over to Joaquin. Joaquin gets a foot to it, trying to make a run on it, but the Kendall player clears. Back to Jonathan. Matthew coming down with this ball. Trying to get it to Joaquin. Can't do it. Joaquin now back on the ball. And Kendall controlling here until Julian comes over and gets a foot on the ball. And it goes into touch. Well, I will have to say that this Kendall team, while definitely the size difference is being a factor, I think the skills are just a little less than South Florida. South Florida seems to be a little bit better on the ball, a little bit better passing. Passes look to be crisper and just with a little bit more direction as Kendall just tries to boot the ball forward multiple times. Colton there to kick this one free. And the Kendall center back again to control. What do you think, Jeffrey? You seeing the same thing that I am?
Yes, I think that South Florida just needs to be a little bit more aware of their spacing and not being afraid of passing the ball back. You know, they've gotten into some jams where they don't have anywhere to go, but they're not willing to pass the ball back and reset. And I think that's going to be important against this big Kendall team to get the advantage.
Colton with a little trickery in the backfield passes it back to Edon. Edon to Brandon. Brandon now up to Julian. Julian back to Brandon with a little give and go. Still 3 Kendall players in front of him. We give the ball away in the middle of the field. This is trouble. Edon there to kick it. And it looks like it's going to be out for another goal kick. So far, we've lived dangerously a couple of times here. But it doesn't seem to have swayed our confidence as Colton plays this one out to Jonathan. And then Jonathan to Jaden. But another giveaway shot from in the box, and this one goes wide of the goal. Holy mackerel. That guy's going to get one in at some point the way he's shooting it. It's just a matter of dialing it in. As this ball is played over to Brandon, and Brandon to Edon. Don trying again, trying to find somebody up the field. Maybe Brian has won a free kick here, and he has, as a result of his body placement.
Well, you hit the nail on the head right there. Watch what Brian does. He gets his body in front of the Kendall player, and then gravity takes over. That's picture perfect body placement in order to win the foul. Good job, lad.
Edon takes it short, plays it over to Brandon. Brandon looking up the field. Kendall player plays it out. It's going to be a South Florida throw. Julian now on the ball. Julian throwing it down the line, finds Nick. Nick finds Brian in a little bit of space here. He gets the cross off. There's no South Florida jerseys in the box to capitalize, though, and the Kendall keeper grabs it and rolls it out quickly. John there, poke it free. John placing the ball up the field to Joaquin. Joaquin trying to play it back to him. Now they've got a little bit of an advantage, Kendall, until Edon heads it back. And we might have got lucky there, as we definitely did not have the numbers in the box. This ball played over to Matthew. Matthew with a shot. Oh, and it goes well wide of the goal. Kendall keeper plays it quickly over to his right side. This ball played over to the right again to number 15. Kendall with a little bit of space over here to the right. And this could be a cross into the box. Brandon getting there, and nice slide tackle by Brandon.
Well, Brandon has had his hands full here on the left side of the field, and he's definitely up to the challenge today, as this is another great defensive opportunity from him to clear the ball and prevent another attack by Kendall.
Kendall throwing the ball in, going to the corner, trying to make something happen, trying to win a corner by playing it off Julian, but they don't, and just win a throw. Again, playing the ball short. 14 from Kendall is going to play the ball back, number 4. 4 and playing it back to the other center back. They're just going to maintain possession of the backfield. South Florida coming out. And Kendall's going to play it back to the keeper. And no pressure so far as Joaquin starts to make a run towards him. Oh, bad pass by the Kendall keeper. Goes right to Edon. And Edon forced to play back to Colton. Colton playing up the field, finds Gavin. Gavin with a difficult turn, tries to win it back, can't do it, and he looks a little shook up on the play. Matthew now trying to get in front of that shooter, and I think he does, or the player sent it wide, one or the other.
Well, it's clear to me that Kendall is trying to get it to one player to take a shot and just drill his ball into the back of the net, and it's that number 9. South Florida has to watch him all the time. They're trying desperately to get the ball at his feet. And so far, they've been pretty successful. He just hasn't been able to put it in the back of the net.
Matthew now with a pass intercepted by Kendall. And again cleared by Brandon. South Florida having to come up with something to get this ball to their half of the field. But so far defending well. As Julian with a flying leg sweep there to try to clear that ball. And we have a foul in the box. What's this going to be?
Well, it can't be anything except for a foul by Kendall, and there's 2 reasons why. 1, it would mean a penalty if it was against us, and 2, that just can't happen. So it's got to be a foul against Kendall, and I think that it is, because it looks like the Kendall player just kicked up underneath Jonathan's foot as he was trying to clear that ball, and the referee agrees, as he should, because I am never wrong.
Well, I guess we can all breathe a sigh of relief. You just never know where the fouls are going to go, especially at this level. And sometimes when you hear a whistle and the ball's in the box, you think the worst. But South Florida able to maintain possession, playing the ball in the backfield, taking their time. As Jonathan plays a bouncing ball to the keeper, Colton handles it well. Plays this ball up the field to Gavin. Gavin with a nice ball over to Jaden, and now they got some space to work here. Jaden into Gavin. Gavin looking up the field, finds Nick. Nick back to Matthew. Matthew playing a long ball, looking for Joaquin, and he couldn't find him. As Joaquin seemed to have stopped his run, knowing that he might not be able to get to the ball. Pressure from Joaquin. Kendall, defender, handles it well. Plays it into the middle of the field. Nick giving chase. Nick able to get a foot to it, but it only goes to a Kendall player. Kendall not finding a route on that left side, forced it back to the keeper again. And I'm going to guess they're going to try to move this ball down the right side, as they have for the majority of this game. Back to 15. 15 again with some space. Brandon caught between 2 Kendall players. Nobody is going to the ball. As Brandon finally comes out to him. Now we got some trouble. As there's a shot. Matthew got in front of it. Chested down by Jonathan. It's still poked free. The number 9 from Kendall now back on the ball. And Kendall still with the ball at the top of the box. They're not doing much with it though. And they play this ball out to the right side. And here comes a cross, and Brandon deals with it nicely. Kendall with another throw here deep in South Florida territory. Brandon again trying to salvage something here and able to not win a throw. Fortunately, the flag went our way at first and then completely went the other way. Oh, Brian trying to come in there for the steal, can't get it. Nick now on the ball. Nick taking off. And he's getting pulled by that Kendall.
The whistle.
Oh, man, that should be a yellow.
Oh, definitely should. And there it is. Finally, this ref is starting to see things our way. I like it. And this player's about to see things in a whole different color, if you know what I mean, as he's shown the yellow card.
Well, first yellow awarded to Kendall here today. as we take another look. And I think it's well deserved. Not really needed the foul, as I think Kendall had players back, but that was clearly a foul, as he was pulling Nick the whole way, trying to prevent him from bursting up through the center of the field. You're down on the kick, free kick. He sends this ball long and into the box. Can Nick get to it? Does, but it's just going to end up into a goal kick. Kendall so far playing it short. South Florida pressuring with at least one player. Let's see if they bring any others. Kendall with lots of time on the ball. Plays it over to the left. Oh, almost out of bounds. Kendall manages to save it. Playing on the left side now. Gavin coming over. Kendall seems to be hemmed in here. They cannot find any luck on that left side. I don't know if that's by design or from the South Florida defense, but they have had zero opportunities on that left side, forcing the ball over to the right as Brian comes up to try to prevent that from happening. Kendall now pushing on the left again. Good pressure from South Florida and good defending as Kendall cannot find a player to pass to. Now the pressure is getting tighter. Joaquin,
oh, there it is.
Brian reading it well. Keeper makes a miscue.
Oh,
Brian with the shot.
yes!
Oh, it's just wide.
Oh, I can't believe that. But good attempt there from Brian. I thought that was definitely going to be in the back of the goal. And look at this. Nicky was coming too. And he almost could have taken the shot clean. Oh, but good effort all around there, lads.
All right, well, it'll be another goal kick here for Kendall. Let's see if South Florida's going to remain with the pressure. I think that they would, considering that they almost came away with one there. Kendall, center back, taking it up through the middle. Able to find a pass. Again, up the right side. And Edon this time takes it away. Puts it into the crowd with a little bit of authority. As Brandon again matching up here. He stays strong and again puts it out into touch. All right, Kendall now, another throw. Playing it back. And now they're going to try their effort on the other side. No, go in the middle this time. Don't think they're going to find what they need there. As Edon's going to easily clear this one out. And it's going to be a Kendall corner. Long ball, back post. Oh, a little bit of a miscue there. Edon heading it clear. And Gavin getting it out to the line. And it looks like Kendall's going to do it again as they put another ball into the box. This time, Colton grabbing it out of the air. And will he take it short, or is he going to urge his players forward? And he's going to roll it short to Edon. Edon now looking around. Plays it over to Brandon. Brandon trying to play it back, but Edon got it anyway. And forced to try to kick it up the field, but it ends up going out of bounds.
Oh, South Florida living a little dangerously here as Colton comes out of his box to try to catch that ball. Can't get there. And Edon and him trying to clear it together. And Edon heads it free, but with getting a little bit of a smack there from Colton as he clears the ball. Oh man, we can't take too many more of these opportunities from Kendall. Let's hope we get some more of our own.
Kendall again with another ball into the box, and again straight at Colton. Colton commanding the line here. Looking around, looks like he's going to end up playing it long. But settles for rolling it over to Edon. Edon now, he plays it long, up the middle. And Kendall back in the attack until Brandon intercepts. He plays that ball down the line. And Kendall playing back to their keeper. Well, outside of a couple of mistakes played by Kendall, they have possessed the ball for the majority of this half and have created multiple opportunities on the South Florida goal. Some nice passing here between Brandon and Julian as they work the left side. Brandon over to Brian. Brian now trying to beat his player and able to get around him. Now one-on-one with the big center back from Kendall. Plays it into the box to Joaquin. Joaquin trying to take a shot. Ends up hitting the Kendall player, and their keeper comes out and collects it. Well, that was the best series of passing and play from South Florida to get that ball into a scoring area that we've seen so far.
Definitely was some better one-on-one play and some passing from the players as they gave away an opportunity just there. But South Florida seems to be clicking a little bit better. Let's hope that they can do some more here in the last 10 minutes of this half to try to put the ball in the goal, because I feel that we're going to need it moving forward in this game.
Golden passes this one over to Jonathan. Jonathan to Matthew. Matthew back to Gavin. Gavin to Jonathan. Jonathan in a little bit of trouble here. Able to get it off to Gavin. Gavin plays it up to Matthew. Matthew a little bit of space here. Ball gets deflected. He plays the ball down the line. He was looking for Jaden, but only found a Kendall player. And Kendall now on the attack on the left side for once. As Jaden comes down, is able to collect that ball. Passes over to John. John back to Colton. Colton a little bit of time. Kendall not in so much of a rush to pressure the keeper, although they finally do. As he gets this ball over to John. John back to Colton. This could get interesting, but Colton makes a good pass to free up the space. But South Florida has to move this ball forward. Gavin trying to play the ball through on a header. Can't do it. John plays it through, and we're going to have another whistle.
Well, this is going to be a foul on Nick, and I think that the referee is letting this Kendall player off a little lightly. As you can see, he's going in there, but that's a very high foot to be playing on a tackle. It doesn't look like he's going for the ball at all to me. And he doesn't get a yellow card. That is a little shocking. I'm a little disappointed in the referee on that one, because that was clearly dangerous play.
Well, Brandon plays this one back to Colton. And Colton now, no pressure. He sends one long. Kendall intercepts. Gavin there using his body to get in front of this big Kendall player. And manages to win the foul.
Well, that's what they say, is that sometimes size does matter. And sometimes it helps you being the smaller player out there, as you'll get more of these calls your way when they try to use their body to push you off the ball.
John taking the free kick again, plays it over to Gavin. Gavin over to Jaden. Jaden back to Gavin. Gavin up the field, headed back by Kendall. Jaden in control, passes it to John. John under immediate pressure, gets it off to Jaden, and playing a little bit of kickball here. But South Florida maintaining possession, at least until this point. Kendall playing the ball long, only finds Edon. Edon back over to Jaden. Jaden playing to Gavin. Gavin playing back now, and South Florida maintaining possession. Got just about 8 minutes left here in the half. Colton plays the smart ball up to Gavin. Gavin back to John. South Florida just not finding the passes to move this ball up the field. As Colton plays this one long to Brandon. Brandon takes an awkward touch on the ball. Kendall's going to win it back. Julian now applying the pressure. Yeah, what I was saying is they just can't seem to find the passes past the midfield in order to get this ball up through into a danger area. As Nick comes away with this one, he got his head up, plays a nice ball through the middle, and again the Kendall keeper coming out of his box to kick that one away. Matthew in a fight with number 17 to try to win this ball, loses it, but able to fight him off and prevent the attack. Ball played over to the right side, as Kendall has wanted to do this whole game. Julian now in front of the attacker. Kendall plays it right into Julian's feet. And we got a little bunch up of personnel here. But Brian able to pass it back to Brandon and get out of the zone. Ball over to Nick now, who's playing deep into the field. Nick around his player. Cutting through two more, makes the pass, gets it over to Gavin. Gavin now, with room and time, makes another pass, but it's a little behind Nick and has to commit the foul there.
Well, he doesn't have to commit the foul there, but I believe that he is just a little frustrated that the pass was behind him. He's trying to win the ball back, and he has to get around that Kendall player and just puts his hands on him and commits the foul. You know, I can't agree with you more there. It just seems like South Florida can't find that final pass there to break open this Kendall defense. Maybe they'll make adjustments at halftime, but right now they can't find the key to unlock this Kendall defense.
Matthew with interception there, played over to Nick. Nick back to Matthew. Matthew playing across to Jaden, who's got some space. Jaden now with time on the ball, plays it up to Gavin, but a little bit ahead of him. And Kendall now back in control. John giving chase. Kendall player plays it into the box, and Brandon there deals with it nicely and clears it out for another Kendall corner. Ball into the box. Oh, it's loose. Colton's going to get on top of it. Don again going up with the challenge, preventing them from getting a clean header on that ball. Plays it up through the middle and intercepted by Kendall. Kendall now again at the top of the 18. Ball played to the corner. I don't think it's going to get there, and it's going to be an offsides call.
Well, again, they get lucky with an offsides call. This Kendall team is just finding the passes, and they have that space on that right side for some reason this whole game. This South Florida needs to try to get something going in the middle of the field. They keep forcing all the passes that way. They got to have the players ready to receive the ball. It's going to get better, I know it will, but they need to do it quickly. Otherwise, this Kendall team is going to be all over them. They're doing grand here in the backfield. They've got to do better in the midfield to get this ball up there and into the scoring position.
Well, just like you said, again, they made multiple passes here in the backfield. Just can capitalize to get the ball forward as Kendall comes and cuts out another pass once again. Julian now giving chase to this ball. Kendall looking like they're trying to line up another cross. Playing it back. Nick now applying the pressure. Who's it going to go to? It's going to go to South Florida. Brandon into Nick. Nick back to Brandon. Brandon forced back to Idon. Idon back to Colton. Colton looking around. Goes long looking for Jaden. Oh, little misstep there. Ball still in bounds. Jaden able to fight him off. Jaden now with some space. He gets it off to Joaquin. Joaquin now finally able to get into the box. He tries for a shot and it is blocked. I don't know why they were trying to shepherd that out. That should be a South Florida corner.
As you see here, he shoots it off of the Kendall player's foot, and the Kendall player is shepherding it out. I don't understand it. That should definitely be a South Florida corner, but it doesn't appear to be going that way. Makes you sad. It does.
All right, Kendall again playing out of the back. Seems to be a common theme in the MLS Next, as every team now seems to play out of the back. You don't see too many teams trying to just belt the ball up to the middle of the field, looking for a header to advance forward. Every team seems to be comfortable playing out of the back. Keepers are now utilized more in a passing position than they ever have been. And it's finally finding its way into our youth leagues. Every once in a while, you come across a team that just likes to kick it forward to a player that can run. But few and far between now, which is good to see because it helps the players build the game. It helps players have a better understanding of the game. And ultimately, they just, they're able to score from one end of the field to the next, instead of just relying on someone's speed or ability for what they have in a short period of time, because they're all changing, and every kid is going to be different in years on. As Brandon tries to get this ball forward, gets into a little bit of trouble, and passes back to Don. John now in the ball, passing it to Matthew. Matthew back over to Gavin. Gavin over to John. John not ready for it. And it's going to be another throw for Kendall. Kendall down the line. John there, giving a little tug on the Kendall jersey there, just letting him know he's there. Kendall again, long throw. Nick there to poke it out. And now Nick can go on a run here. He's got the middle of the field, cuts it in. Got Brandon on the overlap. Oh, can he get there? Can he get there? He cannot. It's going to be, it looks like Kendall got a touch to it because it's South Florida throw. Julian patiently waiting for someone to throw to. Gets it off to Nick, who's got hands all over him. How that's not a foul, I don't know.
Well, I know. It's because they haven't seen what I see. And unfortunately, we have the benefit of this camera and seeing that foul right there. And there's another one. This is the same thing that was being done to Nick. And Brandon gets called for it. Why? Because he's closer to the line judge. Poor Brandon. And now he's getting a talking to. I can't believe this. You have the player more than 10 minutes ago. He was kicking his foot up into the air. He could have killed somebody. And they're giving a talking to Brandon because he grabbed a hold of a guy. Oh, unbelievable.
Well, again, I don't want any referees out there to see this video and think that we're anti-referee. We are not. We understand that video sometimes captures things that the eyes don't see. And referee obviously can't see everything. So I know Jeffrey sometimes lets his comments run wild, but it's all in good fun, and we're just adding commentary to the game. Oh, what a shot there from Kendall.
No kidding.
Oh, man, that would have been epic.
Oh, epic wouldn't have been the word for it. It would have been flat out amazing. I would have gotten out of my chair and just gone home if he had hit that shot. That was, just thank goodness it didn't go into the back of the net.
Well, with that, the referee is going to show mercy and blow the whistle. Holy cow. Well, we got quite a feat ahead of us here as Kendall maintained possession during the majority of this game. I don't have exact figures or percentages for you folks, but let's just put it as a lot to a little. No failure of South Florida, however, as they have defended well this entire match and provided a very difficult struggle here for Kendall to try to get this ball in. I mean, their size advantage alone you think would benefit them on all the crosses that they've created, but it really hasn't. South Florida has done a great job. What do you think, Jeffrey?
I think the whole defensive unit has done an amazing job today, not only defending the ball, but passing. They haven't succumbed to the pressure of Kendall coming in on them and giving up a silly goal. It's been really well done, particularly with Colton and Brandon. Brandon, every attack has come his way and he has defended it well. Colton has made some amazing saves there in the first 10 minutes of this game. It got a little nervy there on a corner, but I'm not going to hold that against him because I think he's having a grand game. It's just a cracker of a match right now. I'm hoping that we get some goals here in the second half, as I'm sure Director Eichmann and Jordan are giving them the advice to make this a winning game and a winning effort.
Well, I'm sure they are. And why don't we take a moment for our sponsor, Techie Apparel. Techie Apparel, located on Etsy.com, has a lot of the soccer apparel that you're looking for. It's all custom made, and you can't find it anywhere else. Techie Apparel also customizing soccer cleats, as they have been doing for the last several years. There is a pair available with your name on it right now at Techie Apparel, or they could have your name on it if you wish it to be. And just head on over, take a look. Everything is free shipping at Techie Apparel, Techy, Etsy.com. And you can see a lot of Inter Miami stuff, as it is a Florida-based company. They'd love to have your business, so why don't you head on over and check them out. Techie Apparel at Etsy.com. All right, second half about to start here. No subs as of yet for South Florida. Many of you may or may not be aware, but MLS Next rules for U15 are pretty much like the professionals. You can only be subbed out one time. There are several sub windows to make those substitutions, but you can only be subbed out once. So the MLS Next coaches at this level have to be very cautious and careful as to when they make those substitutions, because it could cost them later in the game, as Nick comes with an interception there. He's moving the ball down the line. Gets it off to Gavin. Gavin now trying to get into a crossing situation. He's got a monster of a player in front of him, but gets around him. Puts the ball into the box. Oh, parried away. Can Nick get a shot off here? He's got some players in front of him. Tries to get it to Joaquin. Can't do it. And Kendall able to clear. Matthew now on the ball. Matthew playing it over to Gavin. Gavin again. One-on-one. Getting around that Kendall defender. Plays it into the box. And the Kendall keeper leaps up and grabs it. Well, wow, what a way to start the second half. Definitely a big change from the first.
Aye, it is. And you can already see they came out with a little bit more fire in their bodies. And they came out there and they tried to get the score. Oh no, look at this. Now Kendall in the box. But John defends well. And this is what you like about this South Florida team. They come out, they make adjustments, and they really go at it. And they're going to try to win this game. I love it.
Kendall now back in possession of the ball. And again, being patient. Passing it back. And they swing it over to the right side. It's going to be the same side that they were playing in the first half. Made a lot of opportunities. South Florida wins the throw. Brandon looking around. Brandon playing the ball long up the field. Finds Joaquin. Kendall takes ball at midfield. Big striker plays it through. Don is there. Devon defending well and wins the ball handedly. Very nice work. Plays it over to Jaden. Jaden, oh, can't get there, and the ball goes out for Kendall throw. Kendall playing the ball into the box. 17 from Kendall there. Don again defending. Now Gavin. Now Matthew. Matthew bodying up with the big number 9. He maintains possession. Ball played into the box. Colton is there. Oh! Hits the top of the bar and it is down. John on top of the striker for Kendall, and the striker for Kendall is down. Colton has the ball, but it looks like they're going to stop play as we have a player that is injured.
Well, there was no foul called, but I think if we're going to look at this in slow motion, some of you might want to avert your eyes. This is a difficult ball for Colton as it hits the top of the crossbar and down. John, using everything he can to defend, grabs the player's shorts, and that's going to hurt in the morning if you lads know what I mean. Definitely a difficult thing. I hope he's alright, and he appears to be. Oh, man. I've been there a time or two.
Yeah, ouch is probably the least word I could use in that situation, as there's a foul on Gavin as he goes down.
Oh yes, this is a silly foul, and he just clips the back of his leg as he's going by. Easy free kick for South Florida.
All right, South Florida get a free kick. This one's a little bit further up the field than what they've had most of the day. As John looks to take this quick, it is blocked by Kendall. Referee says play on. And Gavin now having to commit a foul. And here we go again.
Well, I don't know how happy the coaches are going to be with that free kick selection from John, but they're definitely not going to be happy with a frustration foul. There's no reason there. They had the players back. There wasn't going to be an opportunity for them. And the referee is calling Gavin over. Is this going to be a talking to? No, he's going to his pocket. And now it's a yellow card. First yellow card for South Florida.
Well, do you really think it was necessary for a yellow card there, Jeffrey?
Well, it's really... Oh, nice parry away there from Colton on that free kick. It's difficult to say. I don't think that there was really anything in that challenge. Yes, it was a tackle from behind, so I guess it could be given. But honestly, he hadn't had a foul. I think he could have gotten away there with a warning and been sent on his way. But the yellow card, it's kind of in the referee's purview to decide what he's going to do there, and he gave it. Can't say anything else about it.
Well, Nick deep in his own backfield. Oh, lets this ball run. A little mental error there as it wins a throw for Kendall. Throw in, Nick clears. Ball goes down the line. Kendall again trying to play this ball into a box. Colton comes out, collects it. Colton looking on the field, seeing what his options are before he makes a decision. Looks like he's urging his players forward. Going to punt this ball up the field. Punt over to the left side, looking for Brandon. Can't find him. And the ball's going to go into touch. No, actually, it's stopped. Kendall keeps it. Kendall plays back to the keeper. He bobbles it a little bit. Center back with the ball. Nick makes a great play. Steals that ball away. He's in the box. Shot. Goal! Oh, South Florida! Oh, man. Unbelievable. They almost got burned in the first half, Kendall, with a blunder in the backfield. Well, they definitely got burned this time as Nick puts it in the back of the net for the leading score here. South Florida 1, Kendall 0. And we have just started the second half, folks.
Well, like you said, they did this in the first half. No communication there. The center back kind of takes a slip, but Nicky pounces on it like a tiger, and he just goes right at it with such ferocity. And the goalkeeper, he tries to dive for it, but it's too late as Nicky puts it into the back of the goal for a 1-0 for South Florida. Good job, lads. Way to keep up that pressure.
And Nick doing his celebration here, well deserved, as that was a singular effort, putting that pressure in on the keeper and creating that goal. And now let's see what Kendall does in response. I'm sure they're going to come out fairly aggressive. But here they are playing in the backfield. Gavin now coming over. South Florida looking to capitalize on that one goal, trying to get another, as Joaquin is racing in to try to get it on goal. Kendall plays it over to the right. This time they only find Julian. Oh, but Julian gets... It's now in a fight with two Kendall players and able to break free. Oh, but Brian can't hold on to it. And here comes Brandon streaking down the field. Brandon now fighting it out. Oh, man. They end up getting a goal kick in the end. Kendall.
Look at the fight in Julian here as he takes on two Kendall defenders, and he comes away with the ball, just splitting the two of them. And he gets it off to Brian. And Brandon in there. Oh, they definitely want another goal for sure.
All right, Kendall playing it out short. Looking for a long ball. They find their number 9. Ball into the middle there. Brandon dealing with it. Now Edon on the ball. Oh, this could be dangerous. Colton with another save. Kendall still in the box with it. Oh, this one bounces over Colton's hands. Kendall still in possession. Some frantic defense here. As a little tick-tock around Gavin. Ball into the box again. Edon heads it away. Nick trying to use his body. Joaquin on it, passes it off to Nick. Nick to Brian. Brian with some space in front of him, can't get to the ball. Oh, Nick able to poke it away again. Joaquin trying to get there, can't do it. Ball coming down the line, Don intercepts. Don plays it over to Matthew. Matthew with his head up, plays it over to Jaden. Jaden playing it into the middle, gets it off to Matthew. Matthew going through, gets it to Joaquin. Joaquin pokes it back to Matthew. Matthew, oh, trapped by a couple of Kendall players. Can Brian come away with it? Brian does. Plays it over to Brandon. Brandon looking into the box, can't do it, and Kendall pokes it away. South Florida in a run to get back. Edon now, one-on-one with the Kendall player. Edon in the box. He's got to be careful here. Oh! No foul. Brandon got all ball. Played up to Julian. Julian now with some time, but he's getting surrounded quickly. Off to Brian. Brian gets it poked away. Kendall again back on the attack. Furious back and forth here, folks. As Kendall lets this ball run out of bounds.
Well, I'm glad it went out of bounds because now you can take a breath. I was a little worried there for you. I didn't think you were going to take a breath and you were going to run out of oxygen. And I ain't going to give you mouth to mouth, I can tell you that for sure.
Well, your concern for me humbles me. As Kendall again with the ball. Getting into that big number 9, he gets around Jaden. Oh, but then Jaden wins it back. Plays it into space. Joaquin again giving chase. See if he can get there. Oh, he pokes it free. Joaquin now on the run for it. Oh, and the Kendall keeper comes out and kicks it clear. Oh, man, we almost had goal number 2 there. As Jaden on the ball to throw it in, throws it into Nick. Nick pops it back to Jaden. Jaden looking for the space, but can't find it, and it's going to be a Kendall throw deep in their own field. Nick intercepts that throw and wins the throw of their zone. Jaden again on the throw, throws it long and into the box. Brian can't get to it. Matthew does, but cannot control it. This one going all the way back to Edon, who is going to have to chase this ball down. Oh, slide tackle missed. Kendall still on the attack. South Florida has players back now. They can defend, and they do. Brandon again poking the ball away. Shot from way out. Oh, almost. Colton having to jump, but no real need there as they went over the bar. And it's going to be a South Florida goal kick. Colton sending his center backs forward. Ball to the middle of the field, right around center field. Kendall takes the ball, and they're back on the attack again. Kendall now. John in front of the big number 9. Ball played across, and Nick is there. Intercepts easily. Looking for someone to pass to. Finds Brian. Brian got his head up. He's looking around. Finds Nick. Matthew now on the ball. Plays it to Nick. Nick back to Edon. Control and possession should be the name of the game. We'll see what happens to South Florida here as they're now moving the ball down the right side with Jaden. Jaden trying to get around that Kendall player and does. Plays it into the box. Oh, and it's behind the goal.
Oh, when you say possession should be the name of the game, I got to disagree with you there. It's still very early in the second half. I think they have to try to exploit opportunities as they come. And I think they're doing a good job of that. They just have to be wary of having to have too many players moving forward and having a counterattack put against them.
All right, well, Nick's now on the ball. Plays it out to Brian again. Brian inside the box. Plays it across. Can Gavin get there? He does. Gavin plays it back to Jaden. Jaden with a little bit of time. Plays it over to Matthew. Matthew cutting across the box. He's inside now. Shot. Keeper deflects. Joaquin is there and he puts it in. South Florida goal. All right. Well, now here it is, just like you were talking about, Jeffrey. They kept on attacking and an opportunity came, and now it's 2-0.
Well, it's just like my old manager once said, you can't win games by playing defense. And here you go, you see Matthew, he's dribbling forward, he takes his space, the center back's out of position here, and he has space to get into the box and play that at the keeper, and it just takes a nice deflection right into the path of Joaquin, who puts it into the goal. Alright, South Florida, now this game is about management now. Now you have the 2 goals. We'll see what they do.
Well, yeah, that came from an offensive flurry there from South Florida, and I'm sure they're actually going to try to go and get another one. As Kendall now playing this ball in the back. Not trying to go too much with their foot on the gas, but definitely going at South Florida here. As they have about, I'd say 20 minutes or so to try to tie this up or take the lead. Getting pretty tight here as South Florida's defense condenses to absorb this Kendall attack. Ball into the box yet again, headed by Brandon out of the area. Gavin there with a fight to get it. Kendall wins again. Shot deflected by Jaden. It falls into the box. John's there, and he kicks it clear for a throw. All right, Kendall looking to throw it in. They got to make something happen here. Gavin deflects it off of the Kendall player. He keeps it in, but they call it a corner.
Well, this referee must have eyes like an eagle because he sees that ball played off of Gavin's foot. And I don't even think the ball got that to bounce. But they get the corner no matter what.
Well, this is where South Florida has to sweat because with Kendall's size, and there's just an example of it. Kendall's size on these corners is very dangerous. I mean, they could literally, any of them, out-jump a South Florida player and put a ball in the back of the net. But luckily for South Florida, they haven't been able to capitalize on their height. As Adon plays this one through the middle to Nick. Nick now with lots of time, lots of space, which is surprising considering Kendall is down 2 goals. They're not really pressuring the players in the middle with the ball. Nick plays this one down the line. He's looking for Brian. Brian is not going to get there. Kendall taking it short. Playing the ball over to the right side. Here they come. Another pass down the line. And it's going to be a South Florida throw. So not much from that one. As this ball's thrown back to Edon and Nick. Nick back over to Brandon. Brandon up to Julian. Julian back to Nick. Can't get there. Well read by the Kendall player. Kendall play back. Julian applying the pressure. Gets it off to Joaquin. Joaquin trying to get it back to Julian. Julian again under pressure by 2 defenders of Kendall. He's giving chase though. Matthew comes away with it in the middle of the field. Matthew with yards of space plays it through to Joaquin. Oh, just a little too much on it as he couldn't get there, and the Kendall keeper comes out and takes it away. Roll out to Kendall. Kendall playing it over to the right side. Their right side, I should say. Lots of time here. South Florida happy with Kendall to have the ball in their own half. I don't think they're going to be high pressing as much as they were earlier. And that long ball from Kendall dealt with by Don, headed forward. And into touch again. As this ball's thrown into Nick. Nick under pressure here. Manages to wiggle free. Plays the ball over to the right side. Finds Jaden. Jaden with a little bit of time here. Plays it back to John. South Florida opting for possession, which is good. Waste the clock. Jonathan up to Gavin. Gavin over to Jaden. Jaden back to Gavin. Gavin getting pushed and knocked down. No foul. Referee holds his hands up like, what do you want from me? Oh, man. And they get a foul called against Jaden.
Well, I am looking for a police officer here because Jaden was basically attacked there. He was ridden by the Kendall player and he gets called for the foul. I don't understand that. Explain that one to me because I'm confused.
Well, you know, there is the assumption of the hometown referees taking exemption for certain calls. They'll go the other way from time to time, but not saying that's what happened here. There was clearly something wrong. Oh, back giveaway in the box. Shot. Blocked by John. Nick now on the ball. He comes away with it. Trying to dribble around this Kendall player, wins a throw. Kendall's made a couple of subs so far. South Florida has not made any as of yet. 4 players on the bench today for South Florida. And this ball goes into touch for a Kendall throw. Another throw. And another whistle.
Well, I think this might be a little bit of fatigue setting in here for Brian as he is trying to win this ball. He does commit the foul there. Can't defend that well. But, oh well. He's going to get some of them right.
All right, last 20 minutes or so of the game. Kendall now on the attack. Going right at Jaden. And Jaden stands tall and kicks this ball into the touch. Kendall throwing down the line. Gavin intercepts. Gavin giving chase. Ball, whoa, put right over to the corner. Can Kendall get there? They cannot, and it's going to be a South Florida goal kick. Colton again opting to move the players out. Looking for the long ball. Plays it up the field. Finds Julian. Julian coming away with it, but there's a push and a foul for Kendall.
All I see there is some physical play. I don't really see much in that other than the Kendall player falling to the ground. But he's calling a push. Again, he's making the calls on the field, folks.
All right, Kendall takes it short and quick. Looking for some sort of opportunity here on the right side with one of their subs, but he can't make it happen, and it's going to be another goal kick for South Florida. This time it looks like they're going to go short. Playing the ball up to Matthew. Matthew immediately under pressure. Oh, gets a nice pass off to Gavin. Gavin playing it over to Brian. Tries to chest it down. Has to pop it up and gets it to Joaquin. Ball deflected out up to Edon. Edon deflecting it back to a Kendall player who's now running in. Plays the ball to the middle. Edon clears with authority into the crowds. Kendall another throw. Gavin there to head it forward. Kendall with some nice passing here on the right side. Matthew now defending that big number 9. And he's going to come away with it. Referee tells the Kendall player to get up. Passes the ball long, but unfortunately intercepted. Kendall now working the ball into the right side. Oh, nice interception by Brandon. Fighting it out. Can't come away with it. Still going up the field. Slide tackle and misses. Kendall now trying to capitalize. Playing the ball through here to the center of the field. Shot. Blocked. Cleared by John. Brandon now again fighting for the ball. Trying to get it. Brian now on it. Brian trying to get it. He cannot, and there are 2 subs waiting for South Florida.
Oh, this is going to be a long 20 minutes because Kendall doesn't show any signs of slowing down here. They just keep on coming at South Florida, and I got the hope that they can keep this clean sheet. That would be a big win for the South Florida team.
Well, the defense keeps playing as they are. I'm sure they'll do it. As Gavin gets fouled here, but they only call for a throw. Jaden looking long. Can't find a player. Don there. Don playing it through the middle, looking for Joaquin. Can't control it. And it's going to be a goal kick for Kendall. Kendall now playing across. Kendall again. Patient. Making their passes. Looks like they're going to be able to cross this ball into the center, but dealt with by Don. It's going to be a Kendall corner. And like I said before, you got to kind of bite your nails here because of the height of Kendall. Oh, Don deals with that one nicely. And Brian's going to try to send this along. Plays back to John, which is a very smart play. John dribbling with the ball through the center of the field. Here he goes. Oh, tackle from the Kendall player. No call by the ref. And South Florida playing a center back short here as John's trying to get back to his line. Popped into the goal.
Well, this is going to be a foul. And I believe it's going to be against Edon here, as I think they got a piece of his leg as he was trying to clear that last ball here. We'll take another look. Oh, yeah, a little bit of contact there. Not a lot, but enough. So it's going to be a free kick for South Florida.
Well, talk about blink and you'll miss it. I don't know how you saw that. I didn't even see it. I was kind of confused by the whole situation.
Years of experience. That's how.
Giveaway by Matthew in the middle of the field. This could be trouble. Slide tackle in there from Martino is checked in. And now Kendall back at their own half. Jaden able to clear it out for another throw. Johnny L has also checked in. Johnny L, one of the new players joining South Florida this year. Matthew again giving the ball away up at the top there. John intercepting. John to Jaden. Oh, Jaden, a little too much time on the ball there. Kendall pokes it away, but it's going to be a South Florida throw. Nick now on the ball. Oh, with a little rainbow there. And wow, no foul called. Oh, late whistle. And foul against Kendall.
Well, it was a late whistle there, but look at this. A little bit of showboating from Nick as he rainbowed that pass. But man, Gavin just got destroyed there. I don't even have a word for that. What happened?
Uh-oh.
Well, it appears that we have a little bit of commentary from the folks arguing with the call here. Looks like the referees are commiserating here. And they are asking the fan to leave the game. Well, this is really hurting Kendall's chances now because this is time ticking off the clock.
Caballero, hey, allá, please, vamos, dale.
And the referee has definitely asked that fan to leave, which they reluctantly have, and hopefully we'll get a restart here to the game as Don kicks this ball way over to the left side. Intercepted by Kendall, but quickly recovered by South Florida. As Brandon plays this ball over to Nick, who's now switched to the left side. Brandon now back on the ball, gets it back to Nick. Nick driving into the box, crosses. Can another South Florida find it? Martine heads it. Cannot find another South Florida player, but it goes back to Jaden. Jaden playing it across at Don there. Don playing it back to Jaden. Jaden up the field, passes it to Joaquin, and it's going to be an offsides.
Well, Joaquin just got a little ahead of himself here, literally. He put himself in a good position to receive this ball. Unfortunately, it was the offside position, and this is going to go back to Kendall. And if I could say a little something about that fan, to all these fans out there, your team might be down 2-0, and you're wanting them to get all the calls, but that wasn't a bad call. It might have been late, but it was still a good call. And you just wasted the clock by hanging around trying to be defiant of the referee. Oh, I hate to see that happen. And at this age of these players, to see that, it's just sad. And we had another foul called while I was rambling on about that. As you can see, they got the back of John's leg. And that is definitely a foul as well.
Yeah, you don't realize, but these are kids. We're talking about height and how big they are and all this other stuff, but the actuality is this is a U15 game. It's not professional. The referees do make mistakes. They do make bad calls, but even when they do, you have to show some sort of reserve in order to preserve it for the kids on the field. They don't need to see their parent getting ejected, or any fan for that matter, as Kendall's now in the box trying to challenge here. Nick comes back all the way to prevent that ball from going. And he tries to get the pass off to Martin, but he can't find him. And now Kendall taking a shot, and this one's way over the goal. But you just hate to see that. So I hope all the fans that are watching this, the parents at home, that if you do show up to a game, listen, there's going to be frustrating times. You're going to want to voice your opinion. Just do so in a respectful manner, and it'll never be an issue. As Jadiel tries to corral that ball, he gets pushed out, and no foul called there. See? I'm sure somebody's upset about that one. Oh, and then he commits the foul, and there's a call from the referee on that.
Well, if there is one thing that Jadiel is, it's high speed. He likes to get into the attack, and he likes to get into the ball, and he uses his speed to do it. And unfortunately there, he used his speed to run into the back of the player, and he committed the foul.
Kendall, free kick. Oh, it lands in front of Colton. Colton bats it down and then jumps on it. Good keeping by Colton. Prevent that ball from being popped into the back of the goal. It was a nice, well-placed free kick. I was surprised no other Kendall player really attacked that ball. As this ball's rolled out to Brandon, Matthew plays it over to Martin. Martin basically pushed down and fell on.
Well, that was a foul here, but let's take a look at this free kick. That is a well-placed free kick. I'm really surprised. Nobody got their foot to that ball. Look at all the Kendall players around that. Colton comes away with it. And this little foul here, and Martin using his body position again and wins the foul. That's one thing I can say about these South Florida players. They may be lacking in stature, but they have the intelligence. And that's what matters.
All right, Matthew on the ball now. He plays this ball long, and Nick is going to get there. He cuts it inside the box. Oh! Gets over to Gavin. Gavin takes a shot, deflected by the defender at Kendall. Jaden now with the long ball. Martin going up for the header. And that one challenged the goalie, but he gets his hand to it. And that could have been 3 very easily, folks. As Kendall avoids a bullet. They play this ball up the middle and just find Matthew. Matthew now with time on the ball plays it to Nick. Nick pops it back. I think he was looking for Joaquin there. And Kendall again playing the ball over to the left side. This time Jaden now one-on-one with the Kendall player. And he is up to the challenge yet again.
Well, this was almost 3-0. Look at Martin jumping in the air. And he almost gets his head to it. And the keeper almost lets it go into the goal. Oh, 3-0. It could have been.
All right, now Kendall back in South Florida territory here. Working the line. Gavin playing good defense. Trying to win this ball back. Got him in the corner. Ball still in bounce. Kendall player escapes. They get it out to the top. Joaquin coming back. Ball into the corner and played into the box. Colton lets it go out of bounds, and it's going to be a goal kick. Long ball. Kendall there. Pops it back in. Martin again using his body. Look at him shift around this Kendall player. How's there no foul called there? And still, ball is still alive here. Matthew getting in front of that one. He plays it forward. Johnny L trying to get in the mix, and we have a foul called against Kendall.
Well, bodies are hitting the floor all over. I'm not sure where the foul was here. Let's take a look. Maybe it's from that high foot of the Kendall player as he came in. He almost took out Nico. I don't know what we were done there.
Also, Nico has checked into the match. Again, another one of our Sunshine players making it back up to MLS. Nico was an MLS player 2 years ago and has worked his way up to the top here as Johnny O passes this ball to Joaquin. Joaquin triple covered. Looking for another pass. Finds Matthew. Matthew cutting it back over to the right side again. Looking for Nico. Can't find him, and Kendall is able to clear. Kendall on the attack now. The big number 9 going one-on-one with Edon. Edon again up to the challenge. And a nice clear by Edon. That is why he is the captain, ladies and gentlemen, because he gets a job done.
Well, the defensive effort here is nothing short of amazing. Look at Edon against this big number 9 from Kendall, and he just clears this ball out and takes him out in the process. Y'all gotta love that from the big man.
Well, the Kendall player is still down on the ground, but it looks like he got back up. So now Kendall with the throw. Nico applying pressure along with Nick, and they're going to get a foul call in a very sensitive area here.
Sensitive? I didn't know that could exist on an area of the field. I'd say it's a very opportunistic area of the field because this is a very good angle to put the ball in, especially for a right-footed player. Here it comes. Oh, it's a curler! Oh, very good job by Colton to knock that ball down and prevent the goal. Oh, way to go, lad. Look at this. Look at how he curves around this two-man wall. Colton picks it up. He bats it down. And Edon steps in to prevent the shot. Good job, boys.
Well, I think you mentioned it earlier, but this defensive back line has got to be exhausted. I mean, they are playing such unbelievable defense in this game to prevent Kendall from scoring. As Nick plays this ball nicely up the line. Oh, but Kendall ends up coming and taking it away. Jaden looking long. Finds Joaquin. Joaquin tries to head it into an area for someone to run on. But no South Florida player could be found. Kendall now under pressure. Looks like South Florida is going back to a press as they seem to be everywhere now. Even pressing Kendall back in the backfield. They've won another one. This ball bounces into the middle of the field. Matthew and the number 9 are going to fight it out. Matthew wins. 9 still seems to be affected by that tackle from Edon as Nick goes into the box here. Waiting for an opportunity. He's dribbling it over into the corner. Oh, he tries to nutmeg the defender and wins a corner in the process. This is the first corner of the game for South Florida. And we have all but 4 minutes left to go in this one. Ball into the box. Popped up, it's still alive. Kendall trying to clear. Nico puts it back. Matthew, another header. Kendall back up. Johnny L's going to bring it down. Johnny L sees Nick. Nick looking for the cross yet again. Here it comes. And the Kendall keeper's going to handle it. There was no South Florida players in the box. Kendall now on the attack. Going up that right side. Here it's going to come. But intercepted by Brandon yet again. Brandon over to Martin. Martin dribbling up the line. He's got time. Oh, plays over the middle, but nobody was there. Kendall now back on the attack. Kendall does not have numbers, even though they are down 2-0, and they give that one away in the middle of the field. Nick trying to get back, can't do it, and that is the whistle, ladies and gentlemen. South Florida Football Academy wins 2-0. And what you could only say is a David versus Goliath type of scenario with every Kendall player towering over South Florida's. And they have come out victorious here. It was touch and go there in the first half, wouldn't you agree?
I would have to say that in the first half, South Florida didn't look like they were going to get the opportunity to score. The ball was primarily in their half the whole first half of the game. But they came out, they made adjustments, they came out attacking, and they were strong, and they got their opportunity. And Nick with a beautiful first goal, and then followed up by Joaquin. And that was just amazing football after that. The defense stood tall through the whole game, and Colton with a clean sheet. You can't ask for anything more in today's match.
Well, it shouldn't be noted that it's the Joaquin's first goal as an MLS Next player with South Florida Football Academy. He's got one goal on the season. Nicky also scored. No real assist in this game as Matthews' shot was deflected. So both individual scorers here today. The defense, again, I think they got a win player of the match. They definitely withstood the attack of every single one of these Kendall players. And they were definitely bringing it after they went down that one goal. And luckily, South Florida came back, kept the attack strong, and got that second goal. So nothing but good things here. As you mentioned before, it looks like they did make some halftime adjustments, and it really benefited them. The knowledge from Director Eichmann as well as from Coach Jordan, I'm sure, assisted in that. And I think that's what ended up happening here. I don't really know what the coaches expected. I'm sure they expected to come in here winning. But after seeing the size of these players, you have to have your doubts. But I'm glad to see that the South Florida boys came out and gave it their all and really gave it to the Kendall team, who again was one of the top teams in the Florida region last year. I believe they finished second or third out of the MLS Next division. So no pushovers here as South Florida comes out victorious 2-0.
Well, what could I say to top that other than that it was a great game by the lads? I hope that they'll bring it to the next game with that much ferocity. It was just a great thing to watch.
Well, that just about does it for us from Men About Soccer. We hope you enjoyed watching. And please remember to click like and subscribe if you want to see more games from this MLS Next U15 team as they play through this 2023-2024 season against teams like Weston, Inter Miami, Orlando City, all the big clubs here in South Florida as well as outside the state of Florida. We hope to bring it all to you. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe.
Yeah. Get the ball.